about 12.5 million Africans were forced onto slave ships. And of those, around 10.7 million people survived the journey across the Atlantic Ocean. Now, to put that into perspective, the entire population of Belgium today is about 11 million people. And that's roughly the number of people who were forced out of African countries into Europe and forced into labor. But mind you, these were not just numbers. They were people, actual people with names, people with their own languages, beliefs, and skills. Some of these people were farmers, gold workers, traders, mothers, fathers, priests, children, people who held real value in their various communities, kidnapped and forced into slavery. So how did they end up on the ships in the first place? Some were captured during wars between African states, others were kidnapped in raids, others were simply just forced, and many were sold through coastal trading systems, where European merchants exchanged goods like guns, alcohol, and textiles for human beings. But none of this was random. You see, the slave trade became part of a much larger organized system, what historians call the triangular trade. European ships would leave ports in places like Liverpool, Bristol, and Lisbon, carrying manufactured goods to the African coast. There, those goods were traded for enslaved Africans. And then from Africa, the ships crossed the Atlantic Ocean on what became known as the Middle Passage to the Americas. In the Americas, enslaved Africans were sold and forced to work on plantations. The ships were then loaded with raw materials like sugar, cotton, and tobacco, products of the forced labor from the African slaves, and then sailed back to Europe. Then this process repeated over and over again, a cycle, one that turned human lives into profit.